Stephen Curry is a once-in-a-generation player, but unlike the hundreds of other once-in-a-generation players out there, it is unlikely you will ever see another Stephen Curry. If you've seen Kyrie Irving, you've seen Allen Iverson. If you've seen MJ, you've seen Kobe, so on and so forth. And if you've seen the hot crazy matrix, you know that Stephen Curry is that unicorn that doesn't exist, but...
If you find a unicorn, please capture it safely, keep it alive. We'd like to study it and maybe look at how to replicate that.
When it comes to shooting, Steph Curry is untouchable in the stratosphere all by himself. This is an already established fact, and if you don't believe me, please check out my prior video regarding Steph Curry's top 5 most demoralizing three-point bombs. If you ever felt hopeless, or like you have no chance of making it out of your current state of desperation, just remember, these guys had to try to stop Steph Curry, but that's just his shooting. There is another aspect of Stephen Curry that can go unnoticed by many, until he does this.
Curry around Kawhi Leonard. He back on that. 57-38. 19 for 30.
Or this.
Steps back and scores.
Or even this.
Bender gets denying KD the ball. Steph.
One of the players you just saw is a future Hall of Famer, a defensive specialist who's made an all-defensive team every year since he came to prominence in 2014 in Kawhi Leonard. Serge Ibaka, a 3-times all-defensive player and 2-times blocks leader, was second. The unlucky third victim was the second overall pick and Rookie of the Year Marvin Williams, whose retirement came shortly after. Had his career crossed out of the league and simply never recovered from the fall. As dangerous as Steph Curry is without the ball, he's even more dangerous with it in his hands. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the 5 most humiliating ankle breakers committed by Stephen Curry, the ankle bully, baby-faced assassin, and he who puts his opponents to sleep. Coming in at number 5 is former Defensive Player of the Year at the time the incident occurred, Marc Gasol. Marc Gasol was also playing for the Memphis Grizzlies when this happened, and somehow the Grizzlies, after ending up in the top 5 most demoralizing three-point bombs, end up here in the most humiliating ankle breakers as well. Proof that Chef Curry has been serving humble pie to this franchise for the better part of the last 2 decades. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a poster of Stephen Curry up in the Grizzlies locker room titled Public Enemy Number 1, Most Wanted. This man has been single-handedly destroying the hopes and dreams of Memphis Hoopers since before Ja Morant started jumping over tractor tires in hopes he could reach Steph Curry. Here we see Curry get into an ISO with Gasol. We see Durant and Pachulia clear out to give him room, and the Grizzlies have no idea what's about to hit them. Tyreek Evans falls into drop coverage as Swaggy P gets the heck out of Steph Curry's way. Just to show you how incredibly quick this happens, Marc Gasol reaches in, and without missing a beat, Curry fakes right and hits Marc with a right-to-left crossover. It was here that Gasol effed around. But the chef wasn't done. Curry hit him with the jab step as Gasol struggled to recover. It was here that Gasol found out. Defeated and effort depleted, the Defensive Player of the Year realized it was over. Dillon Brooks, in utter amazement of what he just witnessed, eventually woke up out of his genjutsu to attempt to close out. It was but a fruitless endeavor. Maybe next time. Asshole! Speaking of the next time, it all started when Curry got the double screen assist from Iguodala and Draymond Green. But before I continue, what's yellow, green, 7 foot tall, and spins at 100 miles per hour? As if he wasn't already off balance, no amount of confidence was going to prepare Rudy Gobert for the mix-up he was about to be in. Once the chef had Gobert on an island, the only question was mix, blend, or puree. All 3 answers would have been correct. While most of you likely saw one thing when this unfolded, I saw something completely different. Steph Curry is the man commanding the man behind the string. Gobert was completely gassed up before heading into the Curry acceleration chamber. Defying the laws of physics, Curry uses his dribbling as the ultimate magnetic stator. With his magnetoplasmodynamic drive engaged, Curry locked Rotor Rudy into a dance of perfect harmony, regulated by his precise execution of bounces at just the right angles and false kinetic acceleration. This created a Lorentz force in the tangential direction, causing Rudy to violently rotate out of control. or you can call it the spin cycle. Whichever way you choose, the simple answer is there was no escaping the fourth spot on this list for Gobert. A false sense of confidence that proved the future defensive player of the year in Rudy shouldn't ever be considered a perimeter defender when it comes to Steph Curry. Ever. The third most humiliating ankle breaker was so bad, the defender made an illegal stop on the Splash Brother. Wrong court. Not only was it a dangerous play, he almost injured Curry's knee with it too. Wrong sport. Unlike the prior ISO-heavy dismantling, Curry shows you how he navigates Ayesha's curves without putting on the brakes. But this fella wasn't getting a full-course meal at the International Smoke. Instead, a quick stop at the in-and-out crossover sent George Hill in the wrong direction. All that sauce had George Hill reaching for meat from the top shelf, and he almost grabbed a handful. Despite the knee hyperextension, Curry still had the wherewithal to put the shot up. He didn't make it, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Ask Ayesha. Better yet, ask George Hill. This is where things get real dicey. I mean, ankles and shins getting separation like Chris Paul in championship rings. Tops peeled back. No cap. Okay, maybe there is a little cap there. Up on deck is former Sacktown King Justin Jackson. Jackson's NBA career went from 100 to 0 in one split ankle. Second. Originally drafted at the same spot Giannis was, borderline lottery pick at 15th, Jackson was getting comparisons to Buddy Hield with his shooting from deep, doing this while being 6'10". Needless to say, he was going off against Golden State in this matchup, getting everything done for the Kings. If you were wondering what happened to him and why he ended up trapped playing for the Texas Legends in the G League these days, I think I've found the answer. I mean, this guy looked like he could be the next Kevin Durant out there on the floor, hitting it from distance, taking it to the rack with a little shake and bake, or throwing it down. Jackson made one mistake that night, and it was to guard Steph and Curry out on the perimeter, knowing full well what this man is capable of doing. While this wasn't as tough or complicated, the results speak for themselves. The way he took Jackson's ankles let me know Jackson knew what he was getting into and dove in anyway. KD went for the drive, and with the Kings in the zone, they started closing in on him. He saw Bielitsa in drop coverage and decided, okay, that's definitely too much. Where's Curry? He hits Curry at the wing and Steph Curry whips it out. The most diabolical move in all of basketball. The jab step. Snatched Jackson's ankles along with the bounce remaining on Jackson's career and sent him to the depths of no return. To this day, Justin Jackson can be seen at local pickup games in Texas in the evenings after leaving his 1 to 5. And finally, the moment you have all waited for, the moment of truth. I will advise you that this next clip will be traumatic for some and triumphant for others. For all the great things this man was unable to accomplish in his career, this one event stained and caused irreparable damage he most certainly could have gone without. It was akin to adding salt to the wounds of a man who was already dying from his own self-inflicted injuries. I almost cannot forgive Wardell Stephen Curry for doing this. This man is a legend in his own right. How dare you, Stephen Curry? Why?
Nigga, you push me.
Ever since that moment, the bad luck that has trailed the career of the man formerly known as CP3, aka CP0, who now only goes by Christopho or Cristofoni, has been unparalleled. Having embarrassed the basketball gods, they sought revenge. Young CP3 was the chosen one. Having been blessed and regarded as one of the best point guards of all times, he had a duty to represent all that is right with basketball, on ball, and perimeter defense. First team all defense, multiple awards. Steals leader, multiple awards. One of the most dangerous heads-up players on the planet. He was the gateway to basketball kingdom. But in an instant, all that he ever was, or ever will be, shattered. Christopho had not realized the extent of the dangers he faced going up against Wardell Stephen Curry. He made the ultimate miscalculation and tried to defend him. But you guys already know, no one guards young Dell one-on-one. No one. Christopho, however, thought he could reach into Curry's bag. Chris, why? Why did you do it? I thought my hands were quick enough. I just didn't see it coming. Steph drove hard with a vicious attack down the lane, but being both brutally quick with an astounding ability to change pace with incredible finesse, Curry noticed the rim protector ahead of him and sensed the secondary chaser. Knowing the rim protector will not leave the paint, he pulls the secondary defender, who happens to be young CP3 at the time, out to no man's land, micro inches away from the edge. And this was where it happened. As if the terrain wasn't already dangerous enough, Wardell turned up the heat, stopping on a dime, a move Chris just didn't have the brakes for, then going behind the back for the cross. Two-piece combo. With lightning-quick speed and agility, he gives Paul just enough to think he can get a hand on it, but pulls it back with unbridled execution. Three-piece combo. As Christopher's arm extended, reaching for and coming up with less than the nothing there was before existence, he forgot he was still mid-skid as Curry used his own speed against him. The last thing etched in Christopher's memory banks is Wardell, Stephen, Curry, 3-0, elevating for the shot that would send both their careers to the opposite ends of the NBA spectrum and NBA history, where they will forever be inundated as the best to ever do it and the best to never do it.